What is going on, everyone? I'm back for another video. Today we actually have a riding buddy. It's my friend Reed. He and I we took the Motorcycle Safety Foundation course together. It was actually kind of funny because like when I first saw him when we were taking the course, like I knew I recognized him from somewhere. And so we were talking at one point and I thought, didn't we have a class together? Come to find out, he and I actually took one of our general ed classes together at our college. So he and I have been good friends ever since. We go to a lot of concerts together and stuff. But so speaking of the MSF course, I thought it'd be a good topic to talk about because I highly recommend the MSF course to anybody that's wanting to get into riding. And you know, I have a lot of friends that know I ride and they keep asking me to teach them how to ride and that sort of stuff, and I say, before you actually go and buy the bike, I highly recommend taking the MSF course. So if you don't know what the MSF course is, it's the Motorcycle Safety Foundation course. And it's basically kind of like a 3-day class. It's like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And it's a course that essentially teaches you everything that you need to know about riding. But so essentially it's like Friday from like 6 to 8, Saturday from 8 to 3, and then Sunday 8 to noon or something like that. And so the first day you kind of spend the day in the classroom. They go over like, you know, risk assessment. They basically just kind of tell you like, look, motorcycles are dangerous. You are more likely to get into a crash with them, but we're going to teach you how to avoid those crashes. So they have this PowerPoint presentation where they have like some pictures up, where maybe like a picture of this road, and they say, okay, like what are some hazards that you notice? And it could be things as simple as there's a car over here at this intersection that's trying to turn left and they can turn in front of you, or there's gravel right here on the road. So they kind of will have the class go through and point out things that they think would be a risk, and then the teachers will say, okay, now here are some things that maybe you didn't mention. The classroom portion is just kind of risk assessment, you know, teaching you things to look out for when you're on the road, things like that. So then Saturday is where you actually do the course portion of it, where they have motorcycles that they provide you with. Basically, you just need a helmet, gloves, long pants, closed-toed shoes, a jacket, things like that. I mean, even just like a regular zip-up hoodie works for the jacket, but you know, essentially you just kind of need a helmet and gloves for this part. So I think for the first part of the actual riding part, they go over the controls of the bike. They show you like where the throttle is, where the clutch is, brake, turn signals, headlights, ignition, you know, the works like that. Speaking of cars pulling out in front of you. Alright, I'll give that one to him. But then they just kind of start out with like using the clutch, like finding the slipping point and all that. So they ease you into learning how to actually ride. You know, they go over, you know, adding a little bit of throttle to get yourself moving. At first, when they have you dealing with the clutch, they just kind of have you hold it at the slipping point and you walk with the bike like forward and backwards across the parking lot. Then after you get comfortable with that, they kind of put you on like a circle course where they'll have you like keep it in first gear and just like apply a little bit of throttle to maybe get yourself up to like 5 to 10 miles per hour, and you just kind of go around in a big circle. But then as you go, they actually start teaching you maneuvering. So they'll have you do like U-turns without putting your feet down on the ground. They'll have you take turns. They have you go through a whole bunch of different stuff. And I mean, you know, you aren't really going too fast when you're doing all this. I think like second gear was the top speed that you ever really got into. But they teach you a lot of maneuvering and stuff that you're going to need to know, such as like counter steering. They teach you braking. Oh, that went all up in my helmet. Yeah, I got something in my mouth. I don't know what the hell it was, but so they teach you a lot of what you need to know when you're dealing with day-to-day traffic, making evasive maneuvers such as swerving. Like if something were to fall off of this car in front of me into the middle of the road, I would need to know how to swerve really quick. And that's the sort of thing that they teach you. Like, if you were to just start riding motorcycles right now, I bet you wouldn't know that in order to turn left, you need to turn right. It's like if I'm going around this curve, if I need to lean more, I'm actually going to turn my handlebars to the left because it's going to cause the bike to tip over in the opposite way. And that's not really something that anybody would just know right off the bat. But if you need to make a really tight turn all of a sudden, that's the sort of thing that you're going to need to know, because if you turn the handlebars the wrong way, you're going to end up going the wrong way. So yeah, basically on Saturday at the MSF course, you know, you just kind of go over the course things like that, where you're actually out in the lot, you're riding the motorcycles, learning stuff, and it's all kind of building on top of each other. You know, you take one thing that you learned from the last section and you apply it to the next one. And then Sunday is basically the test portion. So I think we didn't quite finish all of our coursework on that Saturday, so I think we had to finish up a couple of the things on Sunday. But I mean, that maybe took like an hour, and then the rest of the time is just spent doing the test. And so essentially when you pass the MSF course, you just go into your local DMV and they'll have it registered into the computer that you took the class, and then they basically just hand you your license. You don't have to do any testing at the DMV, at least not in Nebraska. Yeah, I remember when we were doing the course portion, I had this leather jacket and it was like 90 degrees every single day, and you're barely moving at any speed at all, so it got super warm. Fortunately, I brought just like a little light jacket, so I switched into that at one point. But yeah, you'll take breaks every once in a while after every couple little practice sessions. So that's when like I had time to talk to my friend Reed here. You know, we took lunch, so like a bunch of us went over to the Burger King that was just across the street, and so we were all hanging out there for a while. And I mean, it was a lot of fun. I met a lot of really awesome people during that course, and I know that like everybody that I know who's ever taken that course has always enjoyed it. They just love it. So I think, you know, if you're wanting to get into riding, definitely 100% take the MSF course, because I mean, you know, you're only out maybe $200 or whatever, and you know, you may actually find out when taking this course, look, I really don't want to ride. It's like, you know, you may figure that out, and so now you're only out a couple $100 instead of spending thousands on a motorcycle, a bunch of money on gear, going through licensing and all that sort of stuff. So you know, you could end up making a really expensive mistake and end up not liking it. So if you're wanting to get into riding, I highly recommend taking the MSF course. Like, I've heard a lot of people also say that, you know, they contribute the MSF course to the fact that they haven't had any accidents. Because like I said, they teach you a lot of accident avoidance and what to look out for. If you're wanting to get into riding, definitely 100% take the MSF course. Like, you will not regret it at all. You're probably going to enjoy it. You'll meet a lot of good riding buddies. Like Reed and I, we ride together. Not a lot, but I mean, we do ride together. So, well guys, thanks for checking out my video. If you want to see more videos in the future, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and we will see you guys later. Yeah, you're never too old to play on the playground. Oh God.